I'm gonna go ahead and start again so you can get an idea of like what happened before that. Not much, but and your cat is, you know, Oreo has been missing for a while now. She was an indoor cat, but had the tenacity of a wild cat on a mission, trying to leave whenever the door was open. Patios and playtime just wasn't enough for the little missus. I figured she'd come running if I left out some food by the porch. 3 days later, still no cat. I've tried everything I could think of. Asking around the neighborhood, putting up missing cat posters. Sadly, nothing came from my efforts. I couldn't search for her during the day since I had work keeping me occupied. And there's only so many hours in an evening I could yell around the streets looking for her. There was only one place left I could think of that she might have ran off to: the woods by my house, right across the street. I've definitely caught her eyeing the birds and squirrels that ran alongside the perimeter from the front window, her teeth clicking in excitement. Yeah, that tracks. Fours, hey! Glad you could make it. Uh, I was no outdoorsy person by any means. In fact, the thought of going in there scares me. But I had to find her, or at least try. The first weekend that came around, I packed up some water, Oreo's favorite treats, and a compass to be safe. I wasn't sure where to begin looking for her, so I started walking in a straight line. Fours. I wasn't sure where to begin looking for her, so I started walking in a straight line, calling out her name every few steps. It certainly didn't take long for me to realize I was way in over my head. Why did I think this was a good idea? It was hard to find my bearings within the surrounding trees. I didn't want to admit I was lost, at least not yet. I could only squint down at my compass as the needle spun slowly. Pretty sure they weren't made to do that. Accompanying a fellow sinker. Yes, thank you. Uh, did I really bring a busted compass on my first venture out in these woods? Figured that would just be my luck. As a chronic simp, it's my job to encourage my brother. Yes, yes, it is. Figured that would just be my luck. The only thing risking my own safety was my own incompetence. I shook my head hastily. No, 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 no. No time for negativity. Oreo was out there somewhere, cold and lost and hungry. I had to keep going. It's been hours. I'm so, so lost. I don't even know why I kept searching even after the moment I realized that. Why did I think this was a good idea? Hunger had been gnawing at my stomach for a while now, having missed breakfast and lunch altogether. The heat and humidity from the afternoon sun was unbearable, but the cooling air did nothing to soothe me. Even if I were to head home, I couldn't even pinpoint where that was. What do people even do in this situation? They cut off their leg and then they eat it. I don't know. You're gonna be my future husband and since. Wait, no. I'm not the one you're supposed to support. No. I can't even call it a siege. Oh, well, to be fair, I already called dibs on Michael here, so. I knew it was baseless optimism, but walking onward was really the only thing I could think of to do. Surely I'll come across something familiar. I trudged on, my shoes carefully avoiding the tree roots intertwined across the forest floor. But in my weakened state, plus the approaching darkness, I found myself stumbling through the rough terrain. We're not. No. I. I'm literally just the guide. I guide you to your simphood. But staying up on myself stumbling through the rough terrain. Ah, my feet hit something soft jutting out of the ground. Ah, my hand shot out as I lost my balance. My feet clumsily tried to find purchase as I walked backwards, arms flapping. You guided my heart to you. Oh, just kidding. Oh, oh, so fictional men and women can sing for me, but we can't. Hey, I didn't say they could sing for me. I just said that they're mine. My feet clumsily tried to find purchases of backwards. Poof. What? My shoe had landed smack dab in a circle of mushrooms, the brunt of it causing a wispy cloud to erupt from the cluster. I stuck my nose in my elbow to avoid breathing in. I couldn't differentiate one tree leaf from another for the life of me, but I'm pretty sure humans aren't supposed to inhale whatever the hell this was. Mama, it's a lip balm. Oh, yep. It smelled strongly of rotten wood and wet dirt, even as it cleared. Something shiny quickly caught my attention. There's Oreo. I stooped down to pick it up, gasping under my breath. Oh, it was Oreo's collar, covered in whatever the hell those mushrooms released. I looked around desperately for any signs of her. F. F in the chat for Oreo. Yeah, F in the chat for Oreo, guys. Oreo. Oreo. I coughed from inhaling some of the remaining dust floating in the air. I should really steer clear from this. Pocketing Oreo's collar, I retreated carefully until I could breathe again. Stepping back, I could still smell it. It must have stuck to my hair and clothes. A quick once-over confirmed my suspicions with a slight cringe. A thin, yet generous coating of it covered my sleeves and jeans. I leaned against a tree, dusting off my clothes in a naive attempt to get the dust and smell out to no avail. If anything, it felt like I'm breathing more of it in. What used to be musty now turned sweet, and I found myself inhaling it for trying to pinpoint the smell. Because that's what we want to do. Cucumbers? It smelled like fresh cucumbers. A tingling feeling crept up my hands and neck, pinpricks spreading across my limbs as a strange heat reached my face. Oh no, here we go again, boys. I started to feel drunk and woozy. My senses were numb. It should freak me out. And yet, a strange comfort washed over me. I should lie down. Right now, in fact. My legs gave out from underneath me, my body toppling over at an awkward angle. I laid there. As someone with no survival instincts, this is too. Yeah, I know. I was going to say this is too accurate. This all just tracks for me. I laid there and stared and stared and stared. It was nice here, a peaceful calm, the perfect place. So, brother, the perfect place for a nap, even. My eyes grew heavy as I swam in and out of consciousness. Yeah, a nap sounds really good right about now. And considering how much I love naps. Oh, sorry this happened to you, little one. By the will of the forest, may you rest in peace. Mm. Mm? Wait, a human? How'd you end up all the way out here? Still breathing, too. Ah, jeez, I can't leave you here. What should I do? Oh, yeah, I was supposed to ask you something. Oh, I'll be here. So, oh gosh. Snow said you can convert your voice, but your voice perfectly. Well, what does that mean? Snow. Are you out there spreading lies and slander? Try their evening voice. Uh, Ew. I don't know. No. I woke with a jolt. It was warm but comfortably so. I could feel the weight of a blanket on me as I tried to sit up. I couldn't. I couldn't move my body. Oh no. My fingers twitched uselessly. I need to breathe. Okay, is that a good sign or a bad sign? I honestly can't tell. My fingers twitched uselessly at my sides as my eyes darted around in panic. Glancing about, I could see the interior of a cabin, or at least the ceiling of one. Continue to word. Okay. If you say so, probably. I could see the interior of a cabin, or at least the ceiling of one. I couldn't see much past the corner of my eyes. Where was I? How did I get here? A desperate feeling rose in my chest. I had to leave. Right now. This was wrong, wrong, wrong. I wasn't meant to be here. I could hear the crackling of a fire nearby, likely the source of warmth I had felt on waking up. I could also hear footsteps approaching. The last time I pretended to sleep and he saw right through my ruse, so I'll just stay awake. I fluttered my eyelids, straining to look at the person approaching. My eyes widened as I took in their appearance, the protrusions from their forehead catching my attention, not to mention the green skin. The stranger didn't sense my unease as they heaved a sigh of relief. You're awake. That's good. Very, very good. How are you feeling? I blinked. Oh, sorry, I forgot about that. Here. The person held a cup to my lips, a strong, sweet smell coming from the rim. A gentle hand grabbed my chin to open my mouth. I couldn't even move to resist. Don't worry, it'll help you feel better. I promise. Drink up. As the liquid hit my tongue, all I could feel was a vague sense of heat. As I kept drinking, taste and texture returned, the sweetness of berries and chamomile coating my taste buds. I could even detect a hint of mint. Like I said before, delicious. I lifted my head finally, hands fisting at my sides as I propped myself onto my elbows. The person kept a steady hand on my chin, careful not to pour in too much in case I choked. Really, if you don't marry him, I will. Get in line. I stared at my fingers, realizing I had full autonomy over my body again. Good as new. Now, how are you feeling? Better. Thank you. The stranger laughed. Oh, I like the way you sound. Been ages since I talked to anyone, much less with a voice as nice as yours. I brushed off their strange compliment, finally looking around the cabin properly. It was a simple room filled with a sparse but decorated wooden furniture fit for someone living alone. And an open archway to the right led to what I assumed was the kitchen. Next to it, a door was closed shut, possibly the bathroom. Taking it in, there was a common theme of knitted decorations strewn about. Any available surface had patterned knitted tablecloths covering it. An unfinished project laid beside the bedside table where I sat, a pair of knitting needles jutting out of a pile of yarn from a small basket. There's no line after you. Okay, all right. Listen, I'll share custody. You can have him on weekends. Oh, you don't want to murder your soul brother? I thought that was totally normal. Anyway, with like the beginnings of a green scarf. The stranger was comfortable in staying silent, observing me as I glanced around. They tossed their hat onto the bed, scruffing their hair and making it even messier. With their hat off, their unique features were impossible to ignore. Sorry, but, what are you? Hmm? Oh, I didn't introduce myself, did I? Hiya, I'm Michael, with a Y. I shook my head. No, I meant that, Michael stared at me, their left ear twitching. You look very... He snorted. Ugly? Off-putting? No, just different. Different, huh? You're just being nice. Well, then explain yourself. Um, I mean, that's kind of rude, isn't it? I paused for a moment before pinching my nose bridge, exhaling slowly. I'm just... Sorry. It's been a long day is all. I should be thanking you. If it helps, it's a skin condition? Is that what you humans call them? The way they said it doesn't sound confident. And the ears? Genetics? Right. And I assume the little... I wave vaguely at their horns. Antennae? Antennae? Those things are just cosplay to complete the look. Would that make a convincing argument? I squinted. Maybe. Then yeah, it's cosplay. Still doesn't explain everything. Michael huffed a nervous laugh. Listen, I'm just a guy living by himself in the woods. You don't need to worry yourself further than that, okay? Something in his tone compelled you not to question his existence anymore. He's just some guy living in the woods. Completely normal. Right. Completely normal. I'm Looney. Michael beamed. Nice to meet you, Looney. I fiddled with the blankets as Michael scooted closer from the edge of the bed. Just a random living nose. Nothing not normal. Exactly. I know I already asked, but how are you feeling? Any aches? Sores? Nausea? Intrusive thoughts? Weird impulses? Fever, maybe? I don't think... he placed his hand on my forehead before I could react. His hands were calloused, quickly retracting as he gave a thoughtful hum. You seem to be... lucid. That's a good sign. Great. He hummed absently, his twitching ear reminding me of a perturbed cat. My cat! Oh, shoot! Sorry if this is out of nowhere, but have you seen a cat around these parts? Her name's Oria. She's a sweet little thing, about this big, skittish, but she can approach strangers if she needs to. I pulled out my phone to show pictures of her, only to find it missing from my back pocket. Wait, where is... I haven't... Huh? Your cat. I haven't seen it. Oh, I see. I slumped against the pillows, rubbing at my temples. She lost her collar, too. Even if anyone finds her, they wouldn't be able to tell where she's from. Damn it. Michael stayed quiet, watching me from his side of the bed. You came all the way out here for a cat? Huh? Of course. To the point where you're willing to run yourself ragged this deep in the forest? For a cat? Do you realize how far you've wandered away from the nearest town? I found you near unconscious in an area nobody set foot in for years. For a cat. He sounded like he was holding himself back from giving me a stern lecture, as if in disbelief I had such little regard to my own survival. Excuse you, sir. My cheeks grew heated at how stupid reckless that sounds. I mean, she's not just a cat, she's my family. I know I was stupid for even trying, and I had to. Michael eased up, shoulders tense as he looked me over from underneath his unruly bangs. Family, huh? Mm. He finally tipped his head at me with a smile. You're willing to wander this far for such a small critter? I've met my fair share of lost campers, hunters, and a few runaway teens or two. But someone looking for their pet? You're kind of weird, aren't you? Listen, sir. No need to call the kettle black. I sputtered, much to his amusement. Speak for yourself. Precisely. Who cosplays in the middle of the woods? Michael laughed, a deep, hearty one resonating from his chest. You're kind of weird. The guy who was alone in the woods. Yeah. There. I think I'm starting to like you, Looney. Likewise? His smile widened, but something about it was off. He was showing too much teeth. It felt like he hadn't talked to someone in a real long time and forgot how to smile the right amount. I rubbed my neck, trying to think of something else to say. Can I ask, how did I get here? Oh, like I said, I found you in the woods not far from here. Oh, jeez, really? I knew I was tired, but I couldn't have possibly. Well, I did step in something. Something important. Familiar pinpricks crept up my skin. Oh, home. I need to go home. Michael stiffened as he grabbed my shoulder. Never mind that. You'd fallen unconscious from heat stroke. Heat stroke? No, that wasn't what happened. I wasn't. I was fine up until. Michael shook his head insistently, leaning close. No, Firefly. You weren't fine at all. If I hadn't found you when I did, well, who knows what could have happened. You could have gotten injured or attacked by a wild animal. There's danger in these woods, you know? No, he was right. You had been so foolish. How did you think you could do this on your own? Searching for your cat in the middle of the woods. OMG, Firefly. I know, he's a cutie. And to go in without bringing any water. Once again, I read it this time. We did bring water. He's gaslighting us right now. Passing out from heat stroke of all things. That's such a cute nickname, isn't it? How could you have been so stupid? I shook my head, brain too foggy to pick apart my thoughts. He sounded confident, so why should you doubt him? Well, if it means anything, I'm glad you were there. Michael relaxed, hand on his lap once more. He grinned at me. So am I, Louie. I'm definitely glad I found you. Oh, look at the little blush. It's so cute. His eyes were hidden fully behind his unruly hair, but I couldn't help feeling how intensely they were fixated onto me as he said that. The hairs on the back of my neck stood. Sure. Without a distraction, I've only just realized how uncomfortable I was sitting still. Man. The blanket on me was starting to itch just as the desperate need to get home began to rise in me again. Shy, flustered, cute man. Yes! This was interesting, but I should really get going. Wait! My host jumped up from the bed before I could. I mean, you can't. I can't just let you wander around in the woods this late. Please, stay a bit longer. But Michael, come! He grabbed my hand and led me across the room. We stepped into the kitchen, a fragrant smell of cooked potatoes and meat hanging in the air. 2 plates had been set out on a small circular table, complete with utensils, something. I can stay forever. Yeah, I can stay forever. No need to worry, Michael. I wasn't expecting guests today, so the food is nothing fancy. But join me for dinner? He looked so hopeful, ears drooping. You'd feel so bad if you had to say no. Okay, so last time we said no, so what if we just say yes? Michael's jaw dropped for a second before he quickly recovered. I. Yes, yes, of course. Here, come sit. I'll serve up the cottage pie in a minute. Yay! I sat as instructed, my stomach rumbling with something fierce as the smell was the only thing I could focus on. Yes, this was definitely the right choice. No kidding. What was so important that you had to leave so soon? Right? The outside world can wait. Exactly. You could stay here and enjoy my company. Wait, my company? Michael, are you in my head? Oh, actually, I should ask, are you okay with meat for dinner? I could make something else for you if that's not your preference. I love that they added this. Um, I personally don't eat meat, so good thing I asked. Thanks for letting me know. Let me pick some veggies from the garden and I'll make you something. He left out the back door with the basket, coming back inside surprisingly quick with a smile on his face. Is he gonna feed us the cat if we say yes? I don't know. Honestly. Now that you say it, Alright. He left out the back door with the basket, coming back inside surprisingly quick with a smile on his face. I expected him to toss something in a bowl and have it done just like that, but apparently he had other plans. I watched as he washed the veggies thoroughly before chopping them up with an extra sharp knife, setting them aside and pulling out a container from one of the cabinets. He set a pan on the stove and oiled it up, tossing in half of the ingredients and seasoning them with some herbs and spices while a pot boils next to it. The small kitchen quickly filled up with the smell of his cooking. My mouth was already watering in response. I twibbled with a fork on the table, trying to ignore the gnawing feeling in my gut. Luckily, I didn't have to wait long. I just said the same thing in Discord. Oh, Jesus. You guys, y'all are so pessimistic. Jeez. Before I knew it, Michael had already finished humming as he strode over to the table and set my food down in front of me. I looked down at my dinner and almost gasped. It looked so good. The rice was fluffy. Now I'm hungry. I haven't eaten dinner yet. That's okay, I'll eat later. The rice was fluffy as it peeked out underneath the colorful pile of veggies. I didn't know a simple dish could look so tantalizing. The serving size was a bit heartier than expected. He must have known I was starving. Michael brought over his own serving of cottage pie as he settled into his seat. Sorry to make you wait. I tried to keep it simple but filling. Go ahead, dig in. He didn't have to tell me twice. I jabbed my fork into the dish, scooping up rice with a spoon in my other hand and shoving it into my mouth. Hot! Michael kept a polite expression in the corner of his mouth lifting as I panted with the food still in my mouth. He gave me a few seconds to recover. Elbow landed on the table. Is it good? I nodded vigorously, even though my buds were burning. Mm-hmm. I couldn't taste anything. He laughed. It's usually better on the second bite. I slowed down, hand on my mouth as Michael poked his fork into his pie. I tentatively blew on the plate to make sure it was cool before taking another bite. He was right. The second bite was a lot better. The rice was soft and flavorful, mixing in nicely with the crunch of the vegetables with every chew. I've never had greens this fresh, and with how gently he cooked them, every single element was finished to perfection. Damn, we got a little green Gordon Ramsay over here. My host watched me enjoy the meal from across the table. Do you like it? Yeah, this tastes amazing, Michael. He flushed from the compliment, rubbing the back of his neck. I'm glad I like to think of myself as a decent cook, but I've never been able to get anyone else's opinion on that. So you're telling me he looks cute, dresses cottagecore, gets flustered, knows how to take care of someone, who lives away from civilization, and I know he's husband material, perfect husband material right here. It's just, I'm glad I like to think of myself as a decent cook. Yep. Do you like baking? Oh, do you like baking in particular? Not always. I usually go for simple dishes with any ingredients available. I nodded amicably, though didn't say much else. I was more focused on scarfing down there, which thankfully Michael didn't seem to mind. He can bake. Um, I guess he. I mean, technically, he made the cottage pie, and cottage pie sort of requires some baking. So I'm assuming he has at least a little bit of baking knowledge. I was more focused on scarfing down dinner, which thankfully Michael didn't seem to mind. Look, cooks are hot and all, but bakers, yes. Hey, I love baking, by the way. But wait, I shouldn't be saying that. Crap. The overall atmosphere was nice and homely, and I could hear Michael tapping his feet from underneath the table. I guess he was that happy to have someone stay for dinner. It did seem like he'd lived alone, judging from the surroundings in his cabin. So I'm kind of curious. He perked up instantly, his focus solely on me. What made you want to live all the way out here? Oh, well, when you look like me, it's kind of easier just to just live out of sight from everyone else. A pang of guilt shot through my chest. Luney, you can't tell us not to simply village of such a lord desk. I'm sorry. Okay, here, I'll take it back. I can't bake. I can't. I mean, I can't cook. That's truth. So clearly not husband material right here. But I can make a mean cup of coffee or tea. A pang of guilt shot through my chest. I was giving him a hard time about how he looked too. He must have sensed it clear as day on my face. Not that you're one of them. You've actually been nicer than most. Though I wonder if his smile turned strained. Never mind. My point is, it's better here than anywhere else. Why don't you try the tea, Firefly? He seemed uncomfortable now, easing into a different topic. It's probably best to follow along. Oh, sure. Okay, so no husband material, boyfriend material. You all are ridiculous. No, it's okay. I reached out towards my mug, only to push it off the edge with my clumsy fingers. That, yeah, that tracks. Wait! I bent over the side to grab it, fully expecting it to fall just out of reach and land on the floor into broken pieces. It never did. Mm-hmm. Instead, a long green appendage was twisted around the ceramic mug, securely keeping it in place. Not even a drop had fallen out. Michael, is that your... No, never mind. Never mind. My eyes trailed along the length of it until I pinpointed that it came from behind Michael, the rest of it partially hidden beneath his cardigan. Michael? I don't think you can call that a part of his cosplay. I don't know. I've seen some pretty impressive, complex cosplay before, but I don't know. Maybe that is a little bit of a stretch here. Is that Yours? I, I. Michael buried his face in his hands, the strange appendage from before lowering to his side, mug in tow. I'm sorry, Looney. I think. Oh, I know. No, it's okay, Michael. It's okay. I think it's time I was honest. Still cute. He lifted his head, fingers parting his hair back to reveal his eyes. Double. Oh, yeah, I know. I froze as no, multiple pairs of irises stared right into mine before darting to the side and avoiding my gaze. I know it's a lot to take in, but this is who I really am. Please don't be scared. Guys, are you ready for another bad ending? I'm sorry, I have to. Have to. Oh, this is gonna break my heart. Okay. No, don't break my heart like this. I've got to do it, Poppy. I gotta do it. Monster. I flinched as his eyes thinned into sharp slits. No, 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 no. You're a monster. Looney. I kicked back against the chair, letting it clatter to the ground as I scrambled to the living room. I'll throw a hissy fit later, I swear to God. He was a freak. How did I ever let him get close to me? I mean, he was cute and he did cook for me and, details. I had to escape. Now. I ran to the door furthest into the room, hoping it was the exit, rattling the doorknob desperately. It was locked shut. Looney, please. I abandoned the front door and ran to the window by the bed, my fingernails scraping against the sill. It was sealed tight, the lock barely budging as I tried to twist it with my fingers. Heavy boots slowly came closer behind me. I spun around to see him by the edge of the doorway, hands up in a careful stance. Looney, calm down. I'm begging you. Just let me explain. Stay away from me. My eyes landed on the basket on the bedside table, the needle splinting against the firelight. Ooh. Oh. I'm sorry. Oh. I'm sorry, Bobby. I grasped both needles and pulled them from the yarn, the basket dropping to the floor in my haste. Holding them to my chest, I stepped back as Michael came closer, eyes wild as he realized what I held. Hey, look at me, Looney. You don't want to do this. You're gonna hurt yourself. Let go of those things. mm. Mm. Want to place your bets now what I'm gonna pick. So how are we both being held hostage by this dude? He's like sort of controlling our mind with his like spores, I guess, or something like that. We're not exactly sure how, but he's influencing our mind. More like we're trying to end him. I know. There we go. Ah. Aiming blindly. Oh. Aiming blindly, I lunged forward. I'm so doing it. Sorry. I had to. I have to. He probably wasn't expecting it because he hardly moved as I stabbed him straight through his chest. Mm. Oh! A choked sound made past his lips before he collapsed. His disgusting pain. Damn, do I really have to be so brutal? Jeez. Oh, come on, man. His disgusting pair of eyes dazedly searching the room for me. Looney? I I can't see you. I backed away, my breath lodged in my throat. That's okay. I know you can hear me. You're the one who got stabbed, but I feel the pain. I know. Oh, I hate this. I hate this so much. I regret everything. Mm. Uh, this hurts so much. He wheezed out a pained laugh. You know, I was so alone when you came along. I was so happy. As a truce, I'll let you throw a hissy fit alongside me. Oh, thank you, Bobby. So forgiven. I don't deserve it. Just to talk to someone, to have dinner with someone. You even liked my cooking. Ah, mm, I really thought you would be different. Did you really hate the way I look that much? He laughed bitterly once more, spitting out some blood. Why do I keep lying to myself? This has always been my fate since the beginning. No! Insert crying cat memes. That's how I feel right now. At least I got one wish. I'm not dying alone. Looney, are you there? Please. I'm getting cold. Tell me you're there. I didn't realize I had tears streaming down my face. I most certainly did realize that a long time ago. He sounded so pathetic. I stared down at my hands, the hands that hurt Michael. Had I made a mistake? A sputtered cough snapped my attention back to him. It's okay. I sputtered. A sputtered cough snapped my attention back to him. Uh, I think this is goodbye, Looney. But by the will of the forest, I. He means psychopunk because he's mad shredded. He could cook. He could cook. He's husband material. Come on. And yes, I am totally mad shredded and not some twink. Yes, so anyway, across the empty cabin as his eyes look. Oh, what the fuck happened? Why is this so sad? You all, like I said, the timing, you guys rated at probably the worst time. Yeah, so like I said, we just murdered a mushroom man. I prefer Dave too. Well, not to the mushroom man, of course. The mushroom man always takes precedence. I told you not to do. I had to. I had to. You don't understand, Poppy. I had to do it for the lore, for science. Looney has noodle arms. Hey, okay, you don't need to call me out. You killed him. I know. I sunk to my knees, hands still shaking. What? What have I done? For the vine. Yes, I did it for the vine. Ending to you monster. Horrible.